what would you do today to get started in real estate investing? We hear about high prices and high interest rates, but we have the man, myth, the legend, Darius, who just went from being a janitor with nothing to owning 10 or owning 9 properties. He did sell a condo in Flint and Pontiac, Michigan. Darius, what do you think, man? It's impossible to get started today. That's what everybody says. What would you do?
First, my go change my environment. That's the first thing you do. Get around realtors, get around people who are talking about real estate, like on podcasts and stuff. If you see, if you see somebody who's working on plumbing, be friends with that person. That's where you're going to learn the most. You got to change your environment. I tell people all the time, like the best place to invest is right where you live. I live on a street where of plumbers, electrical guys, painters. And those guys are the guys who are working on my houses. So what do you think? What happens when I go to pay them? I get a discount.
Yeah.
On the work. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, just learning and and it changing
Yeah.
the environment.
Yeah. One of my 7 rules for one rental at a time is just that. You've got to audit your network. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but some of you have loser friends. And if you hang around loser friends, you're going to become a loser. If you want to go after this real estate thing, stop hearing the negativity, stop all this stuff. Get around people doing it. There are people making moves in every single market. And it's not that hard to find us. We are out there. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, online all the time. Another easy way is loan officers, right? You can be friends with loan officers. Nowadays, you can't get away from a realtor online, they're everywhere. So it's just a
Yeah.
matter, you got to have the want to attitude.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The other thing I say, one of my rules is you got to try to meet 2 new people a week, especially in the beginning. I
Right.
can't tell you how many new investors have come to me and said, Michael, I've got the realtor or the mortgage broker or the this. I'm like, no, you don't. All right. I've been doing
Right.
this 20 some odd years in one market. I'm meeting new people every week. And the
Right.
bigger your network, the bigger your circle is, you just get deal flow. I mean, people bring you deals. You talk about getting discounts on work. All of that is true. You get in a pinch, you can make a phone call and somebody's going to come help you out on the weekend, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. So, like I said, the learning and the skills, like I think the skills are more important than the actual house, if you ask me. When uh when we had the eviction ban and people worry about rent being collected and stuff, I didn't even sweat it because I have the
Mhm.
skills to earn a living differently. So like I said,
Yeah.
with the engineering and stuff, yeah. And if I need to, I can actually do the electrical now myself and and cut costs that way. But yeah.
Yeah. I think mindset is underappreciated. I think a lot of people think it's all this foo-foo and all of those things. I don't care what you want to call it. If you don't want to call it mindset, call it something else. But your environment, your circle of friends, your 5 closest people, they really do impact you. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, like I said, when I got my first property, the first thing I did was put myself in an environment with engineers.
Hmm.
And that same person is still my friend today, and I've learned a lot of stuff. I tell you about it. If you once you learn electrical, you'll learn you can learn most of the trades, because really plumbing is just routing, just like
Hmm.
electrical is. It's not much. Even gas lines is just really just routing. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at your network today, Darius, and you compare it to where you started, um, how much has it changed dramatically?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I went from being around. So I played basketball. I cage fought. Uh, I'm still powerlifting today. I went from being around a lot of athletes and strictly athletes. There's no wrong with that too. Being around people that are in this trade, are in this
Right.
this game, this sport. So once I did that, then things get a lot easier and better for me in real estate when I put myself around real estate people. So and I apply the same principles with basketball. I apply those with real estate. If you want to be good at something, you got to do it 24 hours a day. So, whether I'm online with you, online on Instagram, or I'm still doing real estate. So, like I
Yeah.
say,
I think it's so important. It's everybody talks about this balanced life and, all of this diversification and all that other nonsense, which I agree is something to aspire to. But when you have a full-time job, like both of us have, a family, which both of us have, I had like that much time. All that time went to real estate. And specifically, Darius, it all went to 3 or 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage house in one zip code. That is all I looked at for 3.5 years. I was so unbalanced. It's not even funny.
Wow, wow. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not a big fan of diversification. I'm not.
Maybe someday, someday in the future.
You know, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like I said, my wife's a realtor. I eat, sleep, and breathe real estate. So,
Yeah. So we
yeah.
talked about in episode number 1 where you're at today. I'm curious, what are the plans? You still adding single family homes in Pontiac and Flint? What
So
else is going on?
I went out to Flint. I went out in Flint. I didn't go out there to just to build an empire there. I kind of went out there to build my cash flow up because I knew I could force rents in the properties, and my plan is to eventually, take that cash flow that those values and the money and bring it back down to Pontiac. So I'm gonna sell those eventually and bring that money to Pontiac. So because it's just easier in Pontiac for me. Like I said,
Okay.
the getting work done and stuff is just a lot easier. It's very hard to get work out there done in Flint.
And forgive me, I don't know how geographically are they 100 miles apart, 50? I have no idea.
Right. So Flint is it's like exactly an hour. It's like 42 miles away from
Okay.
Pontiac. So it's a bit of a stretch. So you got
Right.
to
So
really make it worth it.
yeah, you're not going to go there to change a light bulb, right?
Right.
I got you. I got you. So again, so you're self-managing all of that, or do you self-manage in Pontiac and pay someone else in Flint?
So I self-manage. So I have 9 properties right now. One I
Mhm.
live in, uh one I live in, um I lose track sometimes. Are uh three are under construction right now, and 5 are rented out, are occupied. And basically, I spend about an hour a month managing those properties. So it's really not difficult. There's something like a rough patch or something, I just contract it out. But if it's like if I have to go like evict somebody, I do like the 7-day notice, and I have to, the eviction lawyer handle the rest, that kind of thing. So I kind of like only do the light
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you look at your day or week or month, obviously operations or running the business is not a lot. Are you like how often are you looking for deals?
Oh, now I don't have to. Now it's a lot easier because I've been in real estate, so the deals come my way.
Mm.
Um, but when it's time for me to buy another property, I'm very vocal about it. I let people know. I
Tell
send
everyone.
messages. I got cash. Bring me
Let's
bring me
go.
anything. I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah.
Just getting in the car with my wife. I just get in the car with her and go to showings and stuff. And generally, there's the owners are there. I can talk to them directly and
Mm.
work something out. And it works on her skills too because she's able to see the negotiating happen, in front of her. So, and I'm a hard negotiator. I always pay cash for deals. So,
Yeah. Dave Ramsey would be proud. Yeah. Do you follow Dave Ramsey's principle, or is that just a happy coincidence?
no, I don't. I don't follow his principle. This is why. When I bought my $2,500 house, that's like I said, that's probably my most valuable investment today. But what happened was it took me 2.5 years to fix that property up
Oh,
totally.
wow.
Because and I only spent like 22,000 fixing up the property, but I was going to work and spending my money, my cash, my earned income to fix up the property. And what happened was, why I say it's my bad, is because the worst decision I made is because time changed. You got to imagine, from
Yeah.
2015 to the end of 2017, the market went. There was no 10 grand homes left
Yeah.
because the market was changing while I was fixing up the property,
I
right?
got you.
So
Yeah.
exactly where I could have just bought that property, boarded it up, and went and took that 20 grand and bought maybe 2 or 3 other properties because the prices were so cheap during that time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I got
I'd have had a lot more money.
you. Live and learn, live and learn. Well, let's close it up with this. What would you tell someone, your buddy, your friend, another engineer buddy, whatever it is, who's maybe comes to you and says it's not possible today? You can't do it today. What would you tell
Yeah,
them?
there's a couple guys I work with that 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 thought it wasn't impo was thought it was impossible. Were skeptical about going to territories like Flint, and what ended up happening is they saw me do it. So like I would tell anybody, follow somebody who's already doing it. And what those guys did is they literally followed me to Flint and they bought right in the same neighborhood. So they didn't have to do all the homework that I had to do when I coming in. So just like I said, just follow somebody is what I would tell them.
Yeah, and again, I think it's really if you don't know, there's people making moves in every city. There's probably dozens of people making moves in every city. Find one of them, follow them, ask questions. Again, I kind of how I opened. If you're hanging out with 5 loser friends, well, there you go. Darius, if somebody want to follow you, see what you got going on in Pontiac and Flint, how are we doing that?
Just go to my website, rewithd.com. Or you can Google real estate with Darius. I'm also on Instagram at Darius underscore one of one. That's all letters, no numbers.
Awesome. Thank you, Darius. I appreciate you. Number 3, folks, we're going to get into the most important thing that Darius has to share. We'll do that in episode 3. Thanks again.